Welcome back to Del Mar as we are 56 minutes away from the opener here at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club, and another gorgeous afternoon and a 9-race card ahead of us. Scott Hazelton alongside Benny Southstreet, Ryan Flanders joining me. Great to have you here. Great to be up here on the set with you for the morning.
Good to be back.
Afternoon, whatever it is.
I mean, it's beautiful. We get a little lost in this weather. Everything's going good. Long day yesterday. 350 trips this week. So, man, I think I wrote like 15,000 words in the last 2 days. So a little tired, but hopefully we can share some of that information today and hand out a few winners.
You feel locked in for the day? How do you feel for this 9-race card ahead of us?
I like a few horses that actually aren't trip horses. I'm curious to see who you like.
All right.
Some of these races as well, because you come up with some sneaky horses. Actually, you did, if you recall last week, you gave away a few winners, a couple cold exactas, which was nice. Blew me out of a couple, so I'll be taking notes on who you like today as well.
All right, well, let's get after it. We've got 9 races to go through. Our feature is race number 2, the Rancho Bernardo. Race number 1 features the favorite Westwood. Is today going to be his day? He is grade 1 placed in the Santa Anita Derby going back to earlier this year in that short field. He was 3rd behind Journalism and Baeza. He was 4th in the Affirmed. He's back in against Maiden Special Weight Company. Is this the group that he finally visits the winner's circle against?
It's a short field. I'm not going to play against him. I'm not going to bet on him. He's going to be a short number. He's probably going to win. But I will say this much. One thing I've noticed over the years with these horses that are maidens, they try winners, which he has, and he's done just fine. A lot of times they never break their maiden. They just kind of, for whatever reason, they almost end up like herd animals of some kind. But I don't think he's that way. In fact, when he ran against Beza, it was probably a prep that day, and he ran 3rd against one of the better 3-year-olds we have in the division. So I think he wins. He's going to be a short number, and I'm probably going to pass.
I think that this is the easiest group that he's probably seen in his entire career. I feel a little sneaky, though, with Prank Zappa. I think that moving over to the dirt with this pedigree by Practical Joke out of a Ghost Zapper mare, he's 7-1 right now. I'll take a shot against Westwood, who's – If he holds at 8-5, that's not a terrible price, but I would imagine it's going to come down to 4-5, somewhere in that range. So Westwood's going to be tough in the opener to start the early pick 5. Race number 2, our feature race early in the card, does start the early pick 4. It's early in the card because there's a monster looming in this race. It's Sweet Azteca, who once again showed us that she is back with her win at Los Alamitos and has to be considered as one of the top female sprinters in the sport as we project towards that November purse card here at Del Mar, when we expect to see a filly like this in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint.
It's like a carbon copy for me in race number 2. I can't beat her. I probably won't play. I think she's going to be a short number. I wanted to try with Formula Rosa. The Mark Glatt and Antonio Fresu team up for that one. Going to be a strong second choice, but no speed in this race. If Formula Rosa can blast off and maybe compromise Sweet Azteca's chances, I give Chismosa an outside shot, the Calbred. I thought she ran huge at Los Alamitos in that same race. They actually crawled around the track that day on July 5th, and she closed nicely down the middle of the track. Didn't change lanes. There's a little bit of upside there with Chismosa, but I think she runs into that again. There's just no speed in here, so I think Sweet Azteca probably leaves the 3 alone early, just kind of stalks outside, and these two go 1-2 all the way around the track, one way or the other.
Yeah, Sweet Azteca is going to be tough. I'm not going to play against her. I think Formula Rosa is intriguing, but she's stepping up to heights that she's not yet faced as far as the competition today. There is a scratch in that second race, as we heard from Larry Colmus just a few moments back visually, so down to a field of 4 in our feature race, grade 3, Rancho Bernardo.
And I know you were going to bet the show in that race?
No show wagering.
No show wagering.
Yep. That was already in the program.
I have jokes, too.
You do have jokes. Race number 3, let's move along. This is a starter optional claiming event. They'll be going 1 16th on the turf course. No scratches in this one. You go to Curvino down on the inside. First off, the claim for Sean Williams.
I do. I think Curvino works out a nice trip. Love Juan Hernandez. It's kind of Captain Obvious. He's the leading rider. He's most likely going to win the meet, barring something totally unforeseen. But I do think he's just incredibly underrated, and he lands back with a horse that was first off the claim for Mr. Williams, as you said. He's more than capable in this pattern. Tough trip last time. I had this one progressing 3-4 wide in the first turn, 3+ wide, almost 4 wide in the second turn. These routes, if you can shave a little at some point in the race, it's okay. But when you're parked all the way around the track, big disadvantage. Did have some trouble in the lane, was crowded, lost his speed. I think there's a big move forward for him. And I did move to the just one to the outside with Crazy Cavalier, who I thought got just a perfect trip last time, but jogged. Never took a deep breath. Sat just kind of targeted open air. I had that pace being very fast. Was mid-pack, which is probably actually a slight disadvantage versus this pace, but just did it so easy and then just jogged through the lane. Usually in these turf races, I do best when I can predict the pace. I actually can't predict the pace in this race. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Silly Rabbit has what looks to be a little speed, but they crawled in that race. Pacific Quest doesn't really want the lead, was rating last time and moved up inside. I'm not really sure that one wants the lead. That's kind of one of the reasons why I landed on Corvino, because I think that one can sit just behind those two. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but ground saving is good no matter what in any pace situation.
It's the toughest race in the first three that we've handicapped.
Yes.
There's no question about it. I think Crazy Cavalier can sit close to the pace. I think there's a chance that he can. I like him on top in a really wide open race, even though he did just break his maiden, but hopefully he can keep it rolling as they jump up into this starter rank. So that's race number 3 on this 9-race card. Race number 4, it will begin the pick 6. Race number 4, a starter optional 50 going 6 furlongs, no scratches in here, a field of 8. And in race number 4, as we'll see in a moment, you got to push the button to change the graphic, Benny. Race number 4. Who do you like? That's who you like. You hit the button. 2-7. You're going from scratch.
A little delay. This one I think is interesting. I like number 2 from scratch. There's going to be a very strong favorite in here, Pocket Venus for Mark Glatt, who just jogged last time. Everything went correctly for her on debut. She was bet down from 3-1 to 9-5. She was the second choice that day. I had that track. I know you follow track biases because I listened to you at Keeneland. I had that track as an outside leading track on sprints. Stalked outside, was on the better part of the track. I had that pace as even or slower than normal, which is a big advantage to speed. And while you can't fault her, she ran off and hid. She won by over 8 lengths. She did get everything her way that day. I'm going to take a shot with From Scratch, number 2, for a couple of reasons. One, this is not the greatest workhorse. I went back and I looked at all of her works. They're pretty average. She's got this 45-4 work on July 28th, followed up by a solid one here over the Del Mar surface. I like to see the shippers come in, work over the surface. I think that's a big bonus. But if you go back to this March 8th race at Fairgrounds, it's probably the best race you're going to see for this one on paper. Was working well into that race. I think there's a little tip-off here. Blinkers come off today. I think maybe that's what push this one forward in the mornings. We'll see. But I didn't want to side with another favorite. I've already got 2 chalks early, so I think From Scratch will be a big price.
Yeah, I like her too. And I think that workout July 18th is the reason that they shipped down here to run against stiffer competition. And she's not eligible for the starter condition, so she's in for the $50,000 tag. I think Blaine Wright has done right in bringing her down here and facing off against this group. And Pocket Venus, I mean, how many times have we seen horses run off the screen against much lesser company, and it goes one way or the other? And you could say that about any horse. It's going to go one way or the other based on a performance typically of that caliber. So she, even though she earned a very big speed figure, this is more difficult competition. I mean, when you're going from a maiden 20 into a starter optional 50, it's just way more difficult for a filly like Pocket Venus. But she may be better than what they expected, and you know, based on that run, and that's we'll see how this filly turns out.
It's kind of like my basketball career. I was an amazing high school player, terrible in college, just pitiful. You put me up the class ladder, I was awful, but I was pretty good in high school.
You played college ball?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Point Loma Nazarene. Go Crusaders. They were still the Crusaders. I know they're the Sea Lions now, but they were the Crusaders when I was there.
I was terrible at basketball. I gravitated towards racquetball, pickleball in these days. Let's move on to race number 5. Late pick 5 begins here. Always a giant pool here at Del Mar in these late pick 5 opportunities. 2-year-old fillies, maidens on the turf course, and in this 5th race, 5 furlongs on the turf. The 11, 12, 13 do not draw in off the also eligible, so they're all scratches. And Umbrail down on the inside, well-bred filly. She's by Into Mischief out of a beast of a race mare in Unique Bella, and she showed some run on debut on the dirt.
I wanted to pick against her because I had Unique Bella for a wheelbarrow full of cash at the Breeders' Cup here in the Filly Mare
Let
Sprint.
it go. Well, you've let it go.
I have not. I have
still
not let
haven't.
it go. I mean, I just brought it up, so that was a tough day
Fair
for me.
point.
Who did I have in the Sprint? 30-1 shot in the Sprint right before that. But I bet a double, and I missed my double. So I pissed away 30-1. I'm not going to do that today.
Can we say that?
Umbrail.
Go ahead.
I just did. We're live, so we can't change it up. This one actually broke out, hit the gate pretty hard, and was still quick enough to just blast right through that. So I think Umbrail's super quick. Doesn't even show in the PPs, even though she was in front. I think she's going to clear off in a heartbeat. She's going to be tough to catch. That was going to be my top pick. Fresu rides back. Love that. Camila Catalina for Bob Hess, Kent DeSormo. I thought this one had a sneaky, difficult trip last time. I know it's a maiden claimer, but that's kind of like the Bob Baffert glorified maiden special weight. You know, they're trying to avoid, right? They don't want, isn't that the reason why they write those races?
In part.
So Julian Reparoo rode last time, very patient down on the inside. I had that track as slow on the inside that day, was down inside, and I had the paces slow. So closed on the inside, I thought was a better-than-look performance. Moves way up in start number 2, 1-6 for me in the 5th.
I went 110, missed on the outside. I mean, her race, I think, speaks for itself, and she's run on the grass. We'll see how the 6 goes, Camila Catalina. It's early days for this first crop of Rock Your World. It was a Grade 1 winner in the Santa Anita Derby. He was also a stakes winner on turf in the Pasadena Stakes at the age of 3. He's yet to sire a turf winner, but it's early days. It is very early days. He's going to get one at some point in time for that Lane's End Stallion. Race number 6, late pick 4. Begins in race number 6, and in this sixth event, I should say, also scratched the also eligibles 11, 12, 13, and 14, so a field of 10, and non-winners of 2, 4, 10. You've got You're My Style. You're My Style.
You're My Style. Number 1 for Bob Hess, Kent DeSormo. I think this one makes a lot of sense. Was protected last time off the layoff, ran a little bit over the head. Showed a little bit of speed, faded, no big deal. Got kind of that token ride on the way in. Did get knocked around a little bit last time, but that was a prep anyway. I'm just going to draw a line right through that. Is drawn inside, has tactical speed. These two, they've won a lot of races together, and I'm hopeful that this one can get it done again today for the same pair because I don't have a lot of good, positive information on the others. I've got several downgrades. The pace seems, I think it's going to be a little bit fast early, and some of the more logical runners had speed, so I was trying to avoid those. I think You're My Style can sit a trip and maybe scored a little bit of a price. I
went to the outside horse, Mongolian outside. It's another wide open race.
It is.
There's horses coming from so many different scenarios. Labrada Baraccio, trainer of that B Jersey gelding, he's had a heck of a meet. So I'm going to ride with him, dropping this gelding down in class. And he fits. I mean, can we judge him based on his dirt races against tougher? I don't necessarily think that really matters coming into a race like this. So I'll ride with Labrada Baraccio as he adds the blinkers on the 10 Mongolian Altai. Let's go on to race number 7, which will start that $3 late pick 3. If you're not familiar with the $3 late pick 3, this meet at Del Mar, which I'm certain I can say this with confidence, it's here to stay. The pulls have been great. Payoffs have been phenomenal. So make sure you focus part of your wagering bankroll on that $3 late pick 3. Turf event, another turf sprint, Calbreds. What's the direction?
Need the dough. Love the name. And I like the connections. Aggie Ordonez, I'm pretty sure, was a former assistant for Brent Sumja up north, who is a lifetime. I think he won hundreds of races up there, turned professional gambler. But Aggie Ordonez has turned out to be a phenomenal conditioner. Drawn to the outside, I'm not a big fan of that, but I do love Diego Herrera, has some nice works, headed into the debut. I think that the outside post is going to be baked into the price and will be a big number. So hopefully this one can show some speed because I don't see a whole lot of 5 furlong turf speed along with this one, except for maybe the 9 who's going to blast off and maybe carry this one into the race a little bit. We'll see. Number 4, Dialing Destiny is my second choice. Sneaky bad trip last time. Doesn't show in the PPs. Actually was drifting in and then just got hammered outward in the hindquarters. Completely lost her action. She lost 3 or 4 lengths. She recovered nicely, which actually doesn't read in the past performance line. It shows that she was behind about 5 lengths after that first call. Well, I mean, she made up quite a bit of ground just to get there. So I know that she has a little bit more speed than what it shows. She was bet well enough on debut. She was 7-1. I think she'll be a huge price today. And then I did move to the 9, the aforementioned speed horse for Adam Kitchingman and Serafina Carmona.
It's another tough race. I mean, there's a million different directions I think you can go in here. Cases to be made for these horses in race number 7, the field of 10. I went to the 7 Sacred Sound, in part for Peter Miller, sticking with David Cohen. He's given him a lot of opportunities over the last couple of months here at Del Mar. In fact, a vast majority of them, at least 50% of them, based on the stats I've got in front of me. Philly didn't run bad when they moved her over to grass. In fact, she took a pretty substantial leap forward. So, and Sons and Daughters of Ohm, that Cal-bred sire, California-based sire, they're phenomenal when it comes to turf sprints, winning at a 20% clip in that scenario. So I'll go to Sacred Sound over the number 2 horse, Naturally Blonde, for Jeff Mullins, who she's had plenty of opportunities, but at some point in time, she's going to find the right group. And it always pays to keep Hector Berrios in your thoughts, whether it's dirt racing, but especially turf racing. He's a master on the turf course.
And Sacred Sound actually got knocked around a little bit at the start, had some speed, and then just got stuck out of position from a patient ride. There was nothing Cohen could do. He was kind of just locked in and had to wait and really came flying home. So I think it has a lot more speed than what it shows on paper.
Race number 8, our feature as far as the latter half of the card, there's a huge scratch in here. A couple of scratches. Drop 'em scratch the 3 at 30-1. Hejazi, the morning line favorite at 8-5, who would have been the favorite, is a scratch. So now the morning line favorite becomes the 6 horse Ghost of Midnight, the Mark Glatt runner who has not run in a year. He's good. He's a good sprinter, but it's been a long time since we've seen Ghost of Midnight, excuse me.
Let's beat him. We got 2 runners that were scheduled to run in the Pat O'Brien. Both show up here, and I'm going to side with one of those in Awesome Rhythm, drawn to the far outside for the trip only. I mean, well, that he was entered in the Pat O'Brien, right? So Victor Garcia thought enough of this one to put him in, see how the race turned up, came up pretty tough, lands here. I like the outside draw. So-so break last time, got crowded, lost a path, lost 2 lengths, blasted off into the pocket, and just sat there. Little bit of a shuffle, and then just erupted down the middle of the track. So huge effort in victory last time. I think it's a lot faster than what it shows from a speed figure perspective. Top pick, I think he's a big number, maybe 10 or 12-1. Elwood Blues is going to be my second pick. I go back to that May 25th race. They went slowly early that race. 6-horse field, compact field, wide versus the pace. 2 runners in here for Mark Glatt. This one and the favorite. I'm going to side with the long shot, ridden by Kazuchi Kimura. Likes dirt as well. 8 starts, 3 wins, 3 place finishes to speak of it. 162 dimes on dirt. So I'm not concerned about that surface switch at all.
So it's a crucial race. I mean, obviously, because it's in the pick 6, pick 5, pick 4, pick 3, and starts the late daily double, that $5 minimum wager. I went to the other horse that scratched out of the Pat O'Brien yesterday in Tapalo, Ridgeling by Tapiture. Last time out, it had been a long time for him since we've seen him run, so I think he builds off of that. Hector Berrios sticks with the John Sadler trainee, no surprise there. They've been a stout team for a number of years, but this is a horse that won the Las Barrera going back to May of last year, and I just think that he gets a lot out of that race last time out here at Del Mar at the beginning of the meet. I believe it was day 2 of the meet. 7-11 for me in race number 8, and we wrap things up with race number 9. It's our super high 5 race here at Del Mar. I thought that this was, we've said a lot of these races are wide open. I thought this was extremely wide open, and it has a lot to do with the level.
I wish I brought my dartboard because I could take one and toss it.
You got 4 selections on the screen there.
Well, you know, in fairness, I do have one on some others, so I just loaded up here. And these are actually these are races that I miss even when I go 40. It is that difficult of a race. I sided with Spagliato for Peter Miller, Umberto Rispoli. Crawling pace last time, really a no-chance trip, and actually looked kind of loaded in the turn. Looked like this one was going to overcome that. Just kind of got spun out a little bit, was even in the stretch. I did upgrade that performance. I thought Hudson Ridge last time. I'm not big on siding with Bob Baffert runners on the green stuff, but I thought this one had a swing in the stretch, actually moved into a fast pace, was gaining during the fastest part of the race, which I kind of like. And then interestingly, was cocking his head outward when someone kind of flew past him on the inside. Got steadied badly, lost all chance. That was a horrific trip. I think he offers some upside. Let's see, we'll land on one more. I got 10 horses in here. So number 9, Margot's Boy. First time for Jeff Mullins is another one that ran into that fast pace. It was kind of too close to what I had as a honest/fast pace. To me, that means they're moving the fastest when they hit the far turn. That's when this one moved and got hung out 3 wide, dueling and just stacked out in the Pacific and never finished well, but probably needed the race anyway, and he makes a lot of sense. And Ricky Gonzalez, good on him, having a phenomenal meet. I'm a little upset I missed him on 2 35-1 shots this meet he's scored on. So I know we won't be 35-1 this race, but over 20% for Ricky G. Good for him.
Yeah, he's having a good meet. You also have the one in there that is Little Nas, who's 20-1 for Cicero Farms.
Yes.
And Peter Urton. I went to Hurricane Cloud, horse that's been consistent at tougher levels, and he shows up again for 25,000. He nearly got there last time out. I thought it was the 8 as well as Standby, the 7. I went 8-7 in a wide open race.
4-3-9-1-7-8.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got. So I guess
it's an all race.
Who do we not have? I mean, single to 10 maybe.
Honestly, it's an all type of race.
It is
got
a
the
difficult
budget
race.
in the multi-race exotics. Benny, always a
Thank
pleasure,
you.
my friend.
Thanks
Have
for
a
having
great day. Get some rest. We'll get
Yes,
keyed
sir.
up for a big week next week. We got a big card ahead of us today, 9-race card, but next week it's Pacific Classic week, and this is going to be a lot of fun at this trio of horses that have been talked about. Journalism, we know he's a go. Mike Rapoli still trying to figure out what they're going to do with Fierceness. There's been some mixed reporting there, and we of course know that Nisos is a go. So if we have those big 3 in our featured race for the summer, it's going to be a hell of a matchup and a differentiator when it comes to the Classic division.
I'm learning as we go here. Didn't realize that 3 monsters. So
Yeah.
hopefully it pans out, because that horse racing needs that. Get these guys together so they're not just jogging in these Grade 1 races.
Let's build that bankroll for next week. Today, though, we got a big week ahead of us, but a big card ahead of us. Race number 1 getting underway in less than 35 minutes. Have a great day here at the Del Mar.